In this episode, camping in your driveway, a car's unfortunate name, and Derek doesn't leave his house. Welcome to episode 47 of the We Are Auto Show. What's new, Derek?
Mr. Mike Worrell, I know that you are a big fan of different colors.
I am.
I happened to find a paint-to-sample Barbie pink license plate border. And then I had, a certain someone that was in the house as we were recording last time swap it out on your vehicle. And I have photo proof that you do like Barbie pink license plate borders, and you had one on your vehicle as you left.
I must contest, yes. I have been got. I've been got. There was a pink license plate frame in my car when I left last week. I do hope you know, Derek, this means war.
That's fine. Bring it on.
I hope you like dicks.
I can handle it.
You never know if there's just going to be a little phallic shape, maybe on the driver's window. Maybe all of your valve stems will be switched out for penises. Maybe I'll get just a stick-on, great big honking, veiny looking thing. Mm-hmm. I'll just put it right on your rear bumper. Maybe I'll put it on the hood like a horn. Maybe I'll just get some vinyl stickers printed out, and maybe I'll just hide little penises everywhere on your car. We'll find out. We'll see.
It's fine.
We'll see.
Practical jokes are always good.
But yes, this means war. So, hee. So should we start with some news?
We should.
Okay, what you got?
What are we kicking it off with here? There is a Winnebago.
Oh, boy, yes, a Winnebago.
You know it's a car show when we're talking about Winnebagos, but this is actually a Winnebago EV concept van. I know this is right up your alley, just like the pink license plate border.
This is literally the worst thing in the world. Not only do I hate EVs, I don't appeal to Winnebagos at all.
What's your problem here? Let me tell you about this Winnebago. Okay, let me sell you on it. So they unveiled an EV Winnebago concept camper van. As we know, everybody's transitioning to EVs. I actually think this is a cool idea. But this is a Ford Transit-based EV. It is doing zero emission things. It has an 86 kilowatt hour battery pack.
Wow.
It will only get you 125 miles of range.
Oh my God. Say that one more. How many miles range?
125.
Yes, that's not very good.
No, that's not good at all. But let me tell you.
Continue.
Yeah. So it features some sustainable materials inside.
Wow.
Interiors, mostly, it's like rubberized cork. The flooring is wood wall trim, yada, yada. You know how it's going to go in a Winnebago.
I want a peeled cow on my dash.
It comes with high-speed Wi-Fi.
Why do I want Wi-Fi? I mean, I get it in an RV.
Yeah, I'd also.
In an RV, I get it. But in a car, that's just dumb.
I mean, I would want Wi-Fi. That'd be awesome. No price announced yet. And then there's also no horsepower numbers announced yet, but horsepower is kind of irrelevant in a vehicle of this class.
It's a Winnebago.
Yeah,
it's going to have two.
Right, it doesn't really matter.
It's going to be the slowest thing on the highway, and it's going to back up traffic for 15 miles behind it.
Mm-hmm. And
you're going to come up and you're going to rubberneck, and you're going to give them that smug look at what imbecile is causing this delay in traffic. Oh, it's an EV Winnebago that's just run out of range.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is.
It could be that. But the reason that I do like this is I can see this in the future becoming very good. Once this thing has a reasonable range and you have, the big pop-out tents that come out of EVs or like the things that come out of the side of RVs?
Yeah.
How they put out those canopies
and
stuff?
they like expand like super.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine a solar panel on the top of that. The problem with solar panels on top of cars right now is you don't have the surface area to be able to reasonably charge the car. That's why you don't see them on like a roof of a Civic, because it would get you like 1 mile a day. But if you did have the top of your camper van and like the whole camping site set up as a solar panel, you could reasonably charge these over the few days that you're at the campsite.
You could like make a cup of coffee with it.
No. You could properly charge them.
Really?
Yeah.
Like actually get real charge out of it?
Yeah, like
not just like...
Get hundreds of miles out of it, yes.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think that that's coming. And I think that this is the first reasonable foray into it. I'm not surprised that Winnebago is going down this path. And as battery tech gets better, the range on this is just going to get better and better, and so will the solar efficiency. Solar panels are also like really improving right now.
We need to talk about the range for a second.
Okay.
This is an RV. So I'm going to repeat. This is an RV, a recreational vehicle. What do you use RVs for?
Look, the first generation of something.
To answer the question, what do you use RVs for?
Traveling? Sitting around in the driveway.
I'm sure. So
groceries.
Most people that I know like to take their RVs on, I don't know, trips. This might be a crazy concept, but most that I know like to take them on journeys and trips to new and unfamiliar and wild and exotic places around the world and the country. And all of the many exotic places you can get 125 miles away from home. Wow.
Yeah, that's nowhere.
Dude,
that's really
sucks.
bad. That's really bad.
That defeats the entire purpose of an RV, in my opinion.
I agree. This one, not a good buy. But the one 4 or 5 years from now, probably a darn good buy. The first iPhone that came out, not a good buy. The one a couple years down the road, good buy. That's where we're at with this. This is turning into more of a tech thing than it is a car thing.
It is.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't know how it's acceptable to even make the first iteration at only 125. Like, why would you even release this until you can know you can at least get 200 miles of range?
I don't know. I totally agree with you there. 250 to 300 would be the
that's
minimum.
Like literally pulling chicken out of the oven and it's cooked medium rare chicken. How would you like your chicken cooked today? Medium rare, please. You don't cook chicken medium rare.
Yeah, but if you look at other car companies that came out with their first EV, right? They're all bad.
Yes, but they were also EV cars. They weren't EV RVs.
Mm-hmm. But they had to start somewhere.
Don't release it until they've started to the point where they can get it to 200 miles. This is way too premature.
I don't disagree. I kind of agree with you here. But
premature EV elation.
Jesus. All right, we shall move on.
Okay.
Do you have something else to chat about?
Yes. Can we move on to my most favoriteest brand?
Oh, God. Okay.
Because there is actually some news from Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
So Porsche, they are celebrating 50 years of Porsche design. Now, Porsche design is not just like how you make the car. Porsche design is like its own little sub company within Porsche. Porsche design is the company that makes all the watches, the luggage, the bikes, the jackets, the shoes, that stuff, the accessories, right? So apparently Porsche design, that sub-brand, has now been around for 50 years.
Okay.
So they're celebrating its 50 years of Porsche design with a special, very limited edition 911. And it's got a really stupid name.
Oh, God.
You know what they're calling this special edition 911?
What?
They're calling it the 911 Edition 50 Years Porsche Design. That's the actual name. That's the actual name.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty darn bad.
That sounds to me very similar to, like, where is it in Australia where they have the big desert in the middle, and they're like, what do we call it? It's big, so it's pretty great. It's pretty sandy, and it's a desert. So let's call it the Great Sandy Desert.
The Ferrari.
Exactly. The list goes on and on of stupid names. It's got an incredibly stupid name. The 911 Edition 50 Years Porsche Design. I just can't.
Doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Jesus.
No, it's bad.
That's not good.
It's bad.
But 2022 is marking that 50th anniversary of Porsche Design. Now, the funny thing about Porsche Design is they are that design studio I was talking about that just sells all the accessories. And the funny thing about these accessories is they're not cheap.
No.
So you get like a $2,000 jacket.
Oh, boy.
Or like a $10,000 watch or whatever. But more about the car. The special edition 911. I am very fond of it, just from the pictures of it. From the pictures of it, what do you think?
It's a Porsche?
It is. So, for those of you that are listening on audio only, it's only going to come in black with these satin accents, like Porsche motor stripe decal stripe on the lower doors in satin platinum, as well as other satin little accents that hark back to the original watch that was actually made, the very first watch, the Porsche Design Chronograph 1, I believe, whatever it was called, from 1972.
Okay.
So that's where all these little design cues are coming from. So it is, more specifically, a brand new 992 generation Targa 4 GTS. So That is a very good choice, in my opinion.
What is the Targa's not the fastest Porsche?
Correct.
It's more of a touring Porsche?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Targa is also not a cabriolet.
Okay.
There's a difference. So if you notice, a Targa has the Targa hoop just behind the passenger or the driver and passenger's seats.
Mm-hmm.
That silver bar, that hoop. So the Targa is specific because it only removes the middle bit of the roof, not the entire roof. So a convertible, a cabrio, takes the whole roof all the way down to the trunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
This, you still have a very classic Targa look. I really like the look of it. And it's the GTS, which is pretty much the exact sweet spot between the standard Carrera and the GT3.
Okay.
So it's like, if you want that exact midpoint of, okay, I want something more exciting and flashy and rare than the standard Carrera or Carrera S, but you don't want to go full-fledged GT3. GTS is that exact midpoint. Now, the standard, I mean, they're not changing anything engine with this, but the standard GTS comes with a 3-liter twin-turbo flat 6 that gives you 473 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. So it's punchy, right?
Okay. So it's as punchy as all the other Targas. So
yeah.
you just get the looks, I'm assuming?
You get the looks. Now, let's talk a little bit more about some numbers here, shall we? So I mentioned that it's rare, didn't I?
I would hope it's rare for the name.
Yes. They're actually only creating 750 of them worldwide.
Okay, that's reasonably rare.
Yeah, so it's limited for sure. Only 750 of it being made.
It's not stupid rare.
Now, the cool thing about those 750 though is that each are going to be sold with its accompanying watch.
Okay.
So you buy a watch and you get a car free.
Oh, is that how that works?
In my mind, it is. So yeah, you get a free, essentially a Porsche design chronograph that comes with it. That's a special edition watch. So that's going to be actually probably pretty rare as well. But let's talk about numbers of price and how much you got to shell out for this puppy.
Now, I know that Porsches are not cheap.
No.
And I know that watches are not cheap.
Correct.
So I imagine the combination of both of them would be not cheap with some, rare numbers thrown in there. Yeah.
You'd imagine correct. Yes.
Okay. What are we talking?
It's $197,000.
Excuse me? It's $200,000?
It's $200,000 car and watch combination. Yes.
Do we know how much the watch is? Oh, well.
No. I don't think they're actually going to even release a price for the watch because you can only get the watch if you get the car.
Oh, God. Okay.
So,
what's the normal Targa go for?
I don't know, $170, $180. A Targa 4 GTS, that is.
So it's at least a $10,000 watch?
Probably, if not more, yeah.
Okay.
Plus the limited edition, the accents. I really like the look of it. The black with the silver, that works really good in my opinion.
You really have to be a Porsche snob to want one of these.
I really want one of these.
You are a Porsche snob.
I am, but I really want one. A Targa to me is... how do I describe a Targa? It to me would be a very, very great car to own if you live in somewhere with perfect weather and twisty roads.
So, California.
If you live in California and you don't own a Targa, shame on you.
Oh, really?
It is the perfect car because you can... It's just, I don't know. There's just something about a Targa. It's stylish too. It just oozes in each style. It's got the seat centers with this like silver and black cross stitching. It is, god damn, it's stylish.
Does that match your watch band?
It would, yeah.
Of course
it will
would.
absolutely match your watch band, yes. And maybe your bezel as well.
Well, as a non-Porsche snob, this is dumb money for this.
It could be worth $220 if you buy it.
I don't doubt that in the future it'll probably be worth more.
My question is, how much is someone actually going to buy it for?
I wonder how much would they buy it for today, and then how much is someone going to buy it for in 15 years from now?
They're going to buy it for $200,000. Well, with dealer markups, they're going to buy it for $220,000, $250,000, and they're going to sell it for $400,000.
You think so?
Probably, if you keep the watch. If you keep the watch with it, you're making a pretty penny, in my opinion.
Now, you are a watch guy.
I am.
Do you wear the watch, or do you just buy it and not wear it?
Yes. Watches are also typically an appreciating asset.
Even though you're wearing it?
Yes.
Okay.
Plus, watches are kind of cool because you get to network with other people that kind of understand the watch.
Watch snobs?
Yes. I want this so bad. I want this, and I want to park it next to a GT3 and a Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT and a Dodge Ram TRX just because I'm an idiot.
All right, one last question. Will the watch ever be more than the car? Worth more than the car?
You know, that's a good question. That is a really, really good question. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think the watch will genuinely be worth more than the car. So, for example, if you were looking like at an original Rolex Daytona Paul Newman from way back in the day, that is worth more than the car. Yes. I don't know if a Porsche design chronograph that's sold with a Targa 4 GTS will ever out appreciate and out dollar the GTS.
You don't think if the GTS put 200,000 miles on it, it would be...
I thought you were talking new.
No. I mean in 10, 15 years. Do you think the watch will ever be more value than the car?
I still just don't because of how limited the car is. And because it's kind of a package deal, I doubt it.
Okay.
To be honest, I really doubt it. I just really, really, really like it. And those wheels, those center lock Targa edition wheels, I'm just a massive, massive fan and have a great big giant heart on for this car.
No doubt, this checks every box for you. But,
all of them many times, yes.
Doesn't check any for me.
Oh, also, note, I'm looking at the picture. It does look like Porsche themselves have used the center caps in the correct location.
Pointing to the
valve stem.
Valve stem.
Yes. Hey, see, if you've listened, you know what we're talking about. So yeah, that's the Porsche. I'm going to repeat the name because it's stupid. The 911 Edition 50 years Porsche design.
That's terrible.
It's
terrible.
so bad. They should have named it something more exciting.
Yeah.
Targa 4 GTS Chronograph Edition or something.
That'd have been fantastic.
That'd have been fantastic, yes, but the 911 Edition 50 years Porsche design, that is the actual name of it.
You need to be on the PR team. Holy moly.
Hire me. Hello, Porsche. Hello. Shall we move on?
We should.
Okay. So, can we move on to a car that neither of us like?
Sure. Ideally, no, but sure.
The new Supra. You and I both don't like it.
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
Underpowered.
It's also ugly.
It's
ugly.
It's not, to our eyes, it's not great looking. I don't think it comes in a manual, does it?
No.
Yeah.
But I got some news about that, actually.
Okay.
Funny you bring that up, as a matter of fact. Because some rumors inside of Toyota themselves. We got an insider leaking information. An insider has leaked a rumor that it is confirmed we will get a manual Supra. A new manual Supra. Woo!
I raise my eyebrow now.
Let's go. Let's go. Still don't like it. Still think it's ugly. But I'm going to read this little blurb. According to The Drive, a 6-speed manual Supra is on the way, perhaps as soon as this year. All right. Let's go. There might be some life for the Supra now. It'll probably come with the Grumman, the GRMN, the Gazoo Racing Motorsports, something or another.
Probably. But does that save the Supra?
It redeems it, but it doesn't save it, in my opinion. I still don't think the look is good. I think the look is just not good. I think it does not look Supra at all.
No. Not to
if
the
they
old
would have
Supra.
given it some sort of a line that looks like it could have evolved from the original Supra, or maybe just like a Mark IV Supra, some sort of evolution would have been good. I don't see the evolution in this at all. Like, you can trace the evolution of the Supra up until the Mark IV. And then you get to the Mark V Supra, and it's like, it doesn't even look like the same species.
It's too modern.
If they could have traced the evolution a little bit, maybe given it something that looks more Supra-ish, I would say, yep, but it just doesn't, the look doesn't do it for me. I know, and we're going to make the joke, it's BMW. It does just look too BMW to me. It just does. It just looks too BMW to me.
I see where you're coming from, but I also think that this would be a very fun car to drive with the manual.
It could be. So the rumors actually started back in August of 2021 that they were like thinking about a manual and they're preparing it, and maybe it could, maybe it couldn't, maybe. But apparently they're getting confirmed. Now, there's no kind of clear indication on what trim the manual is going to come in, whether it's going to be the base 2-liter 4-cylinder or the top of the range 3-liter inline 6. So I'm assuming it's going to come on a Grumman model, right? The Gazoo Racing.
I hope so.
So that would, in my opinion, kind of completely get rid of the fact that it'll come in the base. So it probably won't be in the base if it's a Gazoo Racing version. But then I kind of flip-flop in my brain of like, okay, if the Grumman is just simply looking for lap times, then it's definitely not going to be on the 3-liter.
No.
It'll be on the base.
Yep. It could be a good car. So if it did come in the Grumman, right, we're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of like 380 horsepower, I believe.
Actually, going to be potentially a hell of a lot more than that. So
okay,
let me actually talk you through that just for a quick second.
Okay.
So there's another rumor that came out. So an accompanying rumor.
The rumor mill is popping off.
The rumor mill is popping off. So the other rumor, and I'm going to steal this little quote here, is that the gearbox rumor came with another rumor that there would be a special Grumman Supra using the BMW S58 engine that is currently found in the M3 and the M4.
Oh, wait a minute.
And that's a 3-liter 6-cylinder that's got a 6-speed manual that would come with a reduced tune. So they would detune it a bit to 437 horsepower with 442 torques.
437.
So now we're getting now we're getting somewhere.
That would be good.
If that is the ticket, if they go with the Grumman Supra, the Gazoo Racing Motorsports something or another Supra with that BMW M3 engine with the 6-speed at 400 and change, now we're making some headway.
400 horsepower in a vehicle that would be around probably 3,500 after they put all the new bits in it.
I'm sure.
3,500 pounds
Ish.
would be fast. That would not be slow. It wouldn't be dumb fast.
It'd be a fun car.
It'd be fun to drive.
It'd be a fun car.
And I could get over the look of it. I see what you're talking about with the BMW. I don't see the line of the old car, but it looks sleek and modern and new, and it's a sports car. As long as they can put that power down, and as long as it's fun to drive and handles well, which do you happen to know if it does handle well?
I don't know.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I mean, I hope for Supra owners it does, but...
Yeah. I'm sure with computers and trickery, they can make it drive well.
Yeah, exactly.
But it would be good. If you can get 400 horsepower with a 3,500 pound car, that would be solid.
Yeah.
That'd be really good.
That would be decent. If you're getting that power, those numbers, with a car with a 6-speed manual...
Now, I'm sure there's no price.
No. God, no.
Because...
I would expect it to be damn near $60,000.
Yeah, the price wouldn't be cheap. That's the problem here.
It's going to probably be not far off of an M4.
Yeah.
Or, probably something kind of an M2-ish, I'd imagine, if we're equating it to BMW speak.
Right. I could still think of more cars I'd rather have for 50 to 60 grand.
And that's the issue.
Yes.
Is, okay, yes, it could be a jolly good car, right? But if you're spending 60 grand, are you really buying this?
No.
No.
In my opinion, no.
No.
In others' people's opinion, I'm sure somebody out there will do it, but...
I'm just happy they're keeping the manual alive.
I am too. I think that's awesome.
I'm happy they're keeping the manual alive, and I'm happy that the other rumor says that it could come with the big boy trim.
Why didn't this come out in the beginning? Who at Toyota thought that this should have been an automatic, and it should have low power numbers, and it should be high priced right off the bat?
Because it wasn't Toyota that made that decision. It was BMW. BMW was like, look, we will give you the powertrain and the engine and the gearbox, and you can put the Toyota badge on it, and you sell it. That's exactly what happened.
Okay.
That's what happened. I guarantee that's what happened. Toyota just literally said, okay, got a badge, here you go.
Why couldn't they have done the same thing they did with the BRZ?
Because they didn't.
Subaru, we'll take your engine. Toyota, we'll do all the other bits because it'll stay together. Fantastic.
Bring that up to BMW. Ask BMW, hey, why didn't you allow them to put a manual in this car?
Weird. And they dropped a manual right in this BRZ right away.
Yeah, they did.
Or the FRS. Just came with it.
Speaking of which, I have seen some of the new BRZs.
Mm-hmm.
I like them a lot now.
I don't.
I prefer the look of the new BRZ.
I don't. I like mine. I don't hate it, but I don't like it as much as the look of mine. But that might just be because I own the car.
Yeah.
I see it every day, so
you do.
It's a different story.
Yes. So shall we move on?
We should.
Okay. So let's talk about some racing stuff, shall we?
All right.
There's a lot of news and controversy and things coming out of the FIA and the World Endurance Championship, especially in regards to the new classes and categories that you and I have spoken so highly of, the LMH and LMDh, so the Le Mans Hypercar and the Le Mans Daytona Hybrid, I believe.
Yes.
Right? If I'm saying those correctly.
Mm-hmm.
We actually remember there was many episodes ago, we talked about Peugeot and their new, was it an LMH or LMDh? They are an LM...
One of the two.
They're an LMH, I believe.
So they're a hybrid.
Yeah, no, they're a hypercar, not a hybrid.
They're a hypercar. Okay.
Something like that. But either way, the 9X8 was their wingless new prototype car, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we were talking about the look of it?
It was a bold look.
Yes. Well, it's now been spotted testing. It's actually moving. It lives. It lives. It's like a Franken car, isn't it?
Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. So this, for those of you listening on audio only, we are looking at an article of the Peugeot 9X8, their new LMH, their new hypercar. Maybe it is a hybrid. I'm not really sure. But either way, it is wingless. It ain't got no wing. And that was the big thing that we talked about when they announced it.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking pretty wild on track.
It does look wild. They have it in a all black kind of. I think it's just carbon.
It's like carbon. I think it's
carbon.
exposed carbon. Yeah.
And it looks sleek. I don't know, how do we describe the no wing in the back? It's so weird.
I like it.
I kind of like it too.
It's different.
It's
different than what you
very different.
We've been seeing prototypes and hypercars forever now.
Mm-hmm.
This does not look like anything we've seen.
No, from the front it kind of does.
Well, from the back, I should say.
Yes, from the side and the back it looks pretty different.
Yeah.
From the back, for sure, it looks way different. From the side, it looks, other than the front, it looks different. And then you don't have the big barge board that you had in the all the other prototypes, right? The big banner board. I don't know what
sponsor
you call
board.
It. Yeah, basically from where the driver's sitting all the way to the back of the car, there's a big middle fin that went all the way down the spine.
Completely vertical all the way down.
Yes, and you can put up any sponsors as you want on there.
Yeah, you have a little bit of a barge board, but not nearly what it used to be.
No. And without the big rear wing, I kind of like it. It looks sleek. I wonder what it's going to do to the aero. In theory, this is all downforce from under the car, right?
Yeah.
This is all aero effects underneath the car, which is, I think, ideal when you're talking about traffic conditions, which there's going to be a lot of traffic at Le Mans. Well,
tons.
Well, Daytona for sure, and Sebring for sure, right?
Especially with how much the new top class is growing, right?
So it'll be cool to see this thing racing. Do you know where they're going to race it?
So that is part of the news. So there is some sad news, especially for us in Florida.
Okay.
We were all hopeful that this Peugeot 9X8 was going to make the 1,000 miles of Sebring, so the FIA's 1,000 miles of Sebring, which happens right around the 12 hours of Sebring as well, which is an IMSA race. Yep, typically. But there is now some news saying that they are going to miss the 1,000 miles of Sebring. Bummer. So that puts them in a tough place.
Why is that?
Because they're hoping to run at the 24-hour Le Mans. This year, I should say.
Yes.
To do that, they need to have at least raced in a race for homologation reasons.
Oh.
So that leaves them only one race to race before the 24 hours of Le Mans if they don't race at the 1,000 miles of Sebring, which happens to be Spa. So the WEC, so the World Endurance Championship, the CEO, Frédéric Lecoin, which I believe we met at Sebring last year.
We did.
He had clarified last week that Peugeot they need to at least enter Sebring or Spa to make sure that they've got a place on the grid at the 24 hours of Le Mans in June.
Okay. I can see why he's doing that. I wouldn't, if I were in his shoes, I wouldn't want a team to just be able to come in because they have the clout of, being a top class race team, like Peugeot was at one point at Le Mans. You should have to at least go through a homologation race. It does put them in a weird spot. I wonder why they're not racing Sebring. Is it just to do more testing, I imagine?
I believe that's what it is. They're just working through more stuff, more kinks, and just getting things on track and understanding what it's going to do without a wing.
But Sebring's a good testing place. I mean,
it is
want to beat up a car.
The best testing place. I think. If you're trying to test a car to run the length of the 24 hours of Le Mans, I would say you look no further than testing at Sebring because we know that the famous quote is that 12 hours of Sebring is way harder on a car than 24 hours of Le Mans, right? you just get beat to all hell.
Yeah, I wonder why they're missing that. I know that Peugeot used to, as well as Audi, when they used to race each other, they used to practice for like 48 hours prior to Le Mans at Sebring. And they would beat the cars up for like 2 days straight. They would rent out the track. And both Audi and Peugeot used to do that. It was a good test for them, and I'm sure that they got a lot of valuable data out of it. I just don't know why they're not doing it this year. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Either way, that's some news out of the new Peugeot 9X8.
Very cool looking, and I'll be curious to watch it at Spa this year.
Yes, I agree. It will be fun to watch that at Spa, but there is some more LMDh news.
Okay.
So
Let's keep it rolling.
Pretty much this whole week is just all tons of news coming out of LMDh, because this time of year and just kind of this area that we're in is when everyone is starting to test things, right? They finally got some sort of a car together that can run a track that's somewhat able to start gathering data.
Yep. And you have to gather a lot of it.
You've got to gather, especially with a complete new class, you've got to gather a ton of data because this is uncharted territory, right? So another team has been out conducting tests. Porsche.
Here we go.
Oh, yes. So Porsche is still set to debut in 2023, their new LMDh car. They've been in collaboration with Multimatic and Penske, right? We already knew that partnership was coming back to life here. But the new Porsche LMDh has been spotted on track. It's in camo, but it's on track. Woo!
Are you pumped?
I am stoked. I am... Obviously, it's under camo, and there's still a lot of things that you can't really tell, but I'm a big fan of the front of this car so far. The front of this car is making me a little giddy.
It looks good. It looks like a proper prototype. I can't tell with the camo all the different...
The lines.
Yeah, the lines.
Which is what the camo's doing its job.
It is. It's doing its job. There was a video that was released. Did you happen to hear the audio of it?
I did, and it didn't sound all that exciting.
It didn't sound Porsche to me.
Well, it just sounds like a half throttle, just start to feel what the car feels like. It didn't seem like they were running that car hard. At least from what I could see.
It had more of a dull, flat tone to it, which I expected. And maybe this is just because I heard this at the RSRs at IMSA, and they had their straight pipe one year that was insane, like ear-piercingly loud. It was almost not fun to be at the track. It was so loud. I was kind of hoping for more of that, but in a prototype series where you're trying to be as efficient as you can with as much energy as you can, you're not really going to have that.
We'll find out how it sounds in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, the videos will only do so much that we can tell with sound.
Yes.
Well, we're going to find out. I'm not sure if you can hear that, anyone, but that is a little bit of the hum of it. It looks cool. We're watching a little video of it. It looks really cool.
It does look cool.
Like, that doesn't look full speed to me.
No, for sure it does not.
And it was only one little flyby that was like a half throttle flyby, in my opinion.
Looks like a proper prototype, though. We'll see.
But it doesn't look like a prototype like a DPI or an LMP1.
No, it looks a little more rounded snout, kind of.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yep. Yeah. So that's Porsche's. They've got their first shakedown happening of their LMDh.
Okay.
A little bit more LMDh news. I'm not done yet. Not done yet. So another manufacturer that had some rumors that they were dropping out of LMDh. So a while ago, there was a rumor that Audi was just pretty much calling it quits in LMDh.
I do remember hearing that, and we were both a little perplexed.
Yep. So back in, I don't even remember when it was, that maybe December or so.
Somewhere around there.
Some journal had essentially reported that the Audi's LMDh effort had been absolutely tossed aside in hopes of a future F1 program.
That's right.
Right,
Yep.
So they were thinking, maybe we'll go F1. But apparently there's been some sources inside of Audi. They're like, no, that's just pretty much bullshit. We're going forwards. Like, we're moving.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Audi's still moving ahead with LMDh. More top-class racing, more manufacturers, more excitement. That leads the list of what? So we've got Alpine, Glickenhaus, Porsche, Audi,
Toyota.
Peugeot. Did I already say Peugeot? I may have already said Peugeot.
Nope. Yeah.
Toyota. There's potentially Ferrari, right? There's so
I've
many.
heard rumors about Lamborghini, Cadillac.
Oh, yeah, Cadillac, Acura.
Yes.
Top class racing is going to be exciting.
I know.
And I'm happy to see Audi is still in it.
And it'll be combined across IMSA and the WEC,
Mm-hmm.
which will be awesome. So yeah, I would have been shocked if Audi didn't come back with an LMDh program. They were the dominant vehicle, the dominant manufacturer.
With that TDI.
Yes, when Peugeot and Audi were going at it for so many years at Le Mans.
Yeah.
And then Toyota kind of came in when they were all dying off and took the reins at that point. But it'll be amazing to see those guys back. And I hope it's like Dr. Ulrich and the OGs that are in there. I don't know for sure, but I hope so because it'd be awesome to see that.
That would be sick.
Yes.
That would be sick to see, like, bring back some of the, like, the classic OGs that'll just pretty much just some ringers.
And if I were Toyota right now, I would be shaking in my boots.
Oh, I'd be trembling so hard because they're looking at some of the best and biggest endurance racing legends coming back to pretty much just clean up.
Now, mind you, they have had a car for a while now, and they have a car that they're running this year, which they're going to be running next year against all these guys. So they have more data over everybody. They don't quite have the years and years and years of experience that everybody had, but they do have a leg up at the moment. I don't think that leg up will last very long, though.
I agree. I think they'll have a leg up for a little bit, and then they're going to be put back in their place.
Yes.
That'll be good.
It will be.
So, I now have a question for you.
Okay.
Let's play a hypothetical game, shall we?
All right, let's do it.
Let's go back and pretend that the year is now 2012. We're going back 10 years.
Okay.
Go back 10 years. What cars would you buy?
In 2012.
To hold on until now.
I could buy any car for
Anything
like
2012 and earlier.
Reasonable money, I'm assuming.
Yeah, reasonable-ish money. Call it less than 150 grand, right? So that includes high-end sports cars. You're not buying Lamborghinis and, 458 Speciales and stuff like that, but high-end sports cars to regular cars. You get your 10. This is now the year now. The year is now 2012, and you can buy anything from 2012 back. What do you buy to hold on to until now?
Okay, I'm going to start with a controversial one.
Okay.
I believe that Tesla stopped making the Roadster in 2012.
Derek.
I think that would be... I would not buy it back in 2012. If I were... No way.
No, you wish
No
it's
way.
2012. You have to buy it.
But had you been able to see the future, like, that would have been a good buy. Because right now,
God, that
those
thing
are
is
actually
such a
worth...
hunk of shit.
But they're worth money.
Yes, but there's other things that are now worth money that aren't also hot garbage.
I totally agree. But also, in another 10 years, it would be worth way more money. That's a controversial one. I think a Tesla Roadster would have been a good investment back then. It would have been tough to see that would have been a good investment back then.
Yes, because everything
it's kind of
about
a
it,
hunk of junk.
yeah, everything about it was like,
It's
yes,
not good.
you have like a range of 2.
Yeah,
and
this is not good.
It was heavy, and it wasn't the fastest thing in the world. Yeesh.
Yeah.
That is a controversial pick.
Okay, so let's talk about one that would be a good... I'm sure you would not disagree with as much. What about an S2000? A Honda S2000?
It's not that I wouldn't disagree as much, is that I am unanimously agreeing a full-on hell yes, I would buy that, and I'd buy 10 of them.
Yeah. S2000 is fantastic.
I'd literally stock an entire garage of S2000s if I could.
What are those going for right now?
I don't know. You're probably, 20, 30 grand for a half-decent S2000?
And what were they back then, do you know?
19 to 25 grand or so.
They've gone up in value?
They've either stayed even or gone up, depending on the spec you got, I would imagine.
That's insane, dude. They were only making, 250 horsepower?
They didn't make a ton of horsepower, but if I remember, I believe they were a little bit light, too, weren't they?
I think
they were,
so.
sub 3,000 pounds.
I believe so. But you could rev them out to
And that's it.
crazy numbers.
It's the joy of driving with them.
Yeah.
Rev to 10 grand.
Yeah. It's very similar to, I don't know, it would be the similar feel to maybe a Miata? Maybe?
No, because a Miata doesn't have as much spunk. A Miata is just balanced. That's what a Miata has.
It is.
It's not spunky. It's balanced.
It
An
is.
S2000 is spunky. I think an S2000, you could You could equate it to a little terrier.
Yeah, 250 horsepower with 2,800 pounds. Like,
yeah, it's just such a small, light little thing that just goes forever. Energizer Bunny.
I think an S2000 is a Miata with more personality.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that take. Yeah. An S2000 is a Miata with more personality.
Because a Miata driver is either a girl or somebody who's properly into sports cars and wants to race. But like an S2000 driver has personality.
An S2000 driver is a real human.
Yeah.
Right? They do things on the weekend.
You know who had an S2000 that I knew?
Who?
My physics teacher in high school.
Oh, hell yes.
That's an S2000
You want to know something? My physics teacher in high school, you know what he had?
What?
A Porsche 911.
Okay. All right. This is some interesting ones.
Physics teachers are in the game, brother. So let's talk about S2000 for a second.
Okay.
I know we just talked about it, but I just can't get off of it.
When did they stop making them?
I don't know,
2009? 8, 9?
Somewhere in there?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
I wish I would have bought them.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I would have bought it because now you can't find one that's not been ragged on.
No. No.
And doesn't have 220,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm. It would go all the way up to 9,000 RPM, which
God, I miss that car so much.
Craziness. And you can find them in good manuals. I believe
they only came in manual, I believe.
Did they make them in right-hand drive in Japan?
It might have. I don't know. All I know is I want one so bad, and now I can't buy one because it's like 30 to 35. I think for a really nice spec one, you're like 35 grand nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you're probably even 40 grand for like a blue chip S2000.
Yeah, like one that was kept really well. I'm sure you are, which is crazy to think.
Can you imagine that? Like fathom that.
You almost
10
doubled
years
your
ago,
money.
you bought a car for 20 grand thinking, or hell, you bought a car for 15 grand thinking, oh, it's a fun little sports car. I'll keep in the garage for the weekends. And now it's worth like 40 grand.
What else has done that?
Some
Porsches?
Some Porsches.
At least in the current market?
Yeah, honestly, pretty much any enthusiast car from that era nowadays.
No, but like not a Miata, right?
That's not really an enthusiast car, though. That's a girl car that enthusiasts happen to like as well.
Yeah, because it drives well.
I'll give you some picks in a minute.
Well, I mean, okay, what else could have gone up in that price? What else is an enthusiast car in that time frame? Would like
a Supra?
Yeah.
If you bought a Mark IV Supra back then, you were buying it for 15 to 20 grand, and now it's worth like $80,000. An NSX?
Yeah, the old NSX.
NSX and Integra Type R.
Yeah.
Right?
What about a WRX STI?
Well, the problem with STIs is every single one of them has been owned and driven by an idiot.
Wow, that's a hot take.
I dare you to find one used WRX STI that doesn't have a head gasket problem and doesn't reek of vape clouds.
Yeah. Or test it out.
I bet you if you had a WRX STI that was properly owned, adult owned, and not blown up, it's probably gone up as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that one might be a tough sell though.
Yeah,
because they're still making them new as well. And,
that's the issue.
and that kind of hurts it,
right?
That kind of does hurt a lot. All right, so let me finalize my final pick here.
Okay.
There's one that we haven't talked about.
Okay.
And it would be a hatchback.
Ooh, I like a hot hatch.
Be the Mazda Speed 3.
Oh yes, I would love to go back and get one of those.
Yeah.
You could have had them in 2012 for cheap too, I think.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I've driven it and it's a blast. It is an absolute blast. The power comes on that thing as an absolute wall, and
nothing, everything right now.
Here's all 300 torques that you need, and it's gonna rip the steering wheel right out of your hand. So get ready, because that's what it did.
Oh, I miss a Mazda Speed 3.
But they had fun character about them.
Yeah,
right. They weren't over the top. They weren't crazy, but they were like maybe like a techie kind of character, something like that.
I don't know. It was one of those where like if you didn't know about it, you didn't know about it. But if you knew about it, you knew about it. Mm-hmm. Kind of a car. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I miss a Mazda Speed 3.
Awesome Speed 3.
Very much so.
What would you buy? I imagine there's a Porsche in there.
There definitely is a Porsche in there.
Okay.
But what I'm going to say is there's actually a couple of Porsches in there. But the first one is one that you and I both agree on 110%. An S2000.
Okay.
An S2000, I'd buy one 100%. I'd buy 5 of them, right?
Yep.
We talked about it. That's probably one of my number one picks if I could go back 10 years and buy.
Would that be the unanimous pick between us?
I think that is a unanimous, zero dispute at all, buy an S2000 10 years ago.
Never would have thought we'd come to that conclusion. But I'm not opposed to it.
I agree. I didn't think that we would have expected us to go, damn, an S2000 was the car we should have bought. But damn, that was a car that we should have bought, right? So obviously an S2000. But then I've got a couple of Porsches.
Okay.
So one Porsche is one that I actually know a bit well because my old man has one.
Oh, I know where this is going.
911, obviously. 997.2 generation, but a Carrera GTS. So we actually talked about the 911 Edition 50 Porsche design GTS that we talked about earlier, right? The GTS kind of originally came out on the 997 generation. And that is a car that was the exact sweet spot between the Carrera S and the GT3. It's more than just kind of regular car, but also less than just track readiness. Oh man, would I have bought that 10 years ago if I had the money.
How fast are those?
They're quick. They're 4.1 or 2 seconds, maybe even sub, maybe barely sub 4 seconds, 0 to 60 if it's PDK with launch control.
So they're
right?
quick.
They're quick. Yeah, no, they're 400 plus horsepower.
But it's not, I'm going to kill you quick.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not, I'm going to kill you quick. It's quick. Stupid quick. But it's not, hey, let's go find that tree right now. Right? You could have bought one of these 10 years ago. God, for, if you found a used one, 70, 80, 90 grand.
Okay.
You know what these freaking things are worth now?
More than that?
I see them for sale for like 120 grand.
How? What is the Porsche market doing right now?
It is hot. It is so hot right now.
What the heck?
It is so hot right now.
Weird.
Cars are turning into investments, and it's weird because cars aren't investments.
No.
Well, at least regular cars aren't investments.
In theory.
But I would have bought one of these for sure.
That's crazy.
It's great. But yeah, that's one of my, if I go back 10 years, I'd have bought one.
Okay.
Next Porsche that I would have bought would have been an older Porsche.
Okay.
It would have been more specifically obviously another 911, but a 996 GT3. So a 996 GT3 would have been kind of 2003-ish, 2000 maybe, call it 2000. Technically the 996 was 1999 to 2004. So somewhere in that range, a GT3. 10 years ago, you could have bought a 996 GT3 for 80 grand. It's another car that's gone up to 130.
Was the GT3 the one that had all the badging, all the paint on the side, or was that a GT3 RS?
GT3 RS is usually the one that has all the paint on the side, all the badging, the extra stuff. So if you're looking on your computer, Derek, it looks not quite that one. I would say the one we got in the States would have been that one right there. Yep. So that looks like a 996 GT3 that we would have got in the States. For those of you listening, it is the 996.2, so it would have been from 2001 to 2004, or 2002 to 2004. Honestly, I would have bought one. It was absolutely killer to people because it had snap oversteer. It was pretty much a widowmaker.
So it tried to kill you.
Oh, absolutely. Every single corner, yes, from what I understand. But I love it, and I'm also one of those controversial people that love the look of the 996. I would have bought one for sure.
Yeah, we know my opinion on the look of the 996.
You're weird.
We won't go there.
Oh, I'm weird. But that's another car 10 years ago I would have bought because now it's also worth a hell of a lot more. With miles, too. I see people selling 996 GT3s with like 60,000 miles for 120.
Why? Why are people buying this with 120 grand? Why? Like, what
because
could
it's
you buy
a
new?
great car. It's a great car, and they don't make them anymore.
You could get the top of the line Cayman for this money,
Just
right?
about,
Brand
yeah.
new.
Yeah,
Why would you not go? With
I would
that?
rather get this than a top line Cayman brand new. I think.
I guess unless you already had the Cayman.
Yeah, but one's rear engine, one's mid engine.
What could you get 911 for 120 grand new?
A base.
Not much. Okay.
A base.
Okay. Man, 911s are expensive.
They have become quite expensive, yes.
Sheesh.
So then I've got another pick that I would have gone back and bought a while ago.
Okay.
And this is also technically from prior to 2012, but I would have bought it in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
A Volkswagen, and we already know my affliction for Volkswagens, but a Mark IV R32.
That was the hatch?
That was the hottest of the hatches.
Yes. Okay.
So you had your regular Golf, then you had your Golf GTI, then you had your R32.
Mm-hmm.
All-wheel drive, naturally aspirated V6, 6-speed manual.
Okay.
Is
Solid.
that not the best car in the world?
That is the... Oh, man, that's like a European's wet dream.
Goddamn. I mean, goddamn, I want that car so bad. A buddy of mine, who we'll have to have on the show one of these days, Chris, he had a Mark IV R32. And every single time I talked to him, I was like, do you miss your R32? Yes. Oh, my God, yes. Please give it back to me. Oh. And they're worth stupid money now, too.
Are they?
Oh, they're worth stupid money now, too. You could have bought it 10 years ago for 10 to 15 grand.
Man, who would have thought?
Now you could buy it for 25 to 30, maybe 40 grand.
Man, that's so crazy.
And it makes such a cool noise. You know what they nicknamed this car?
What?
Star Wars fans rejoice. They used to call this the Wookiee. That naturally aspirated V6 almost sounded like a Wookiee at wide open throttle. It was great. There's actually a yearly Volkswagen R32 and Golf R meet and drive at the Tail of the Dragon in the Smoky Mountains. You know what they call that meet and drive?
What?
Wookiees in the Woods. That is the name of this. Like, all of North America will drive their R32s to the Tail of the Dragon, and they will have the Wookiees in the Woods.
I love that they come up with those crazy names for cars.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's awesome.
I would love an R32, a Mark IV R32.
No,
I wish I had one so bad.
That's a fantastic car. Okay, question though. What would you take, that or a Mazda Speed 3?
That R32.
Okay.
I would not even bat an eye. That's a naturally aspirated V6
Megan,
with
how much was
all-wheel
it?
drive.
How
I
much?
don't remember. It was, I don't know.
Reasonable power?
Yeah, it wasn't
Okay.
crazy, and it wasn't stupid low.
I'd be curious to know if that would have beat the Speed 3 in a drag race.
No,
Because they're both not going through corners.
no. That's all-wheel drive.
Okay, so it could corner. I'd tell you the Speed 3 is not cornering.
That's what I was going to
Because
say.
it's front-wheel drive.
Is put them on a drag strip, the Speed 3 is probably going to win.
Probably.
Put them at
Any
Lime Rock Park and...
Any autocross. They're not going to LRP.
Oh, yeah, true. True.
Any autocross.
But, yes, put them on autocross and the R32 will kill it.
Okay.
I want an R32 so bad. Oh,
Okay.
God damn it, I want one so bad. But I've got one more that if I could go back 10 years and buy, I would buy it right now.
All right. What is it?
I actually hinted at this earlier. An Acura Integra Type R.
Okay.
This was touted as the best handling front-wheel drive car that has ever existed.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with this one at all. I can't argue with this one.
Oh, if I could go back 10 years.
Something about the
man.
little bug eye front that this thing had.
Some people hated on the
I know.
it's called the USDM front, and they would swap a JDM front end onto it.
Ah,
And I think that's just wrong.
that's way wrong.
But oh God, I love that car so much.
The little wing that it had, it was small, light. I don't think it had a ton of... What did the Type R have?
Maybe 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It
I think
didn't
it
need
may
to.
have been on a good day 210 horsepower. It was... God, it was great. It was so great. It revved like crazy. It was...
A 1.8 liter four-cylinder making...
Yeah, it was a B18 C1, I believe.
195 horsepower, 2,600 pounds. So it's relatively... It's a small, light...
How many pounds?
2,600.
Yeah, so it's light. It doesn't make a lot of power. It's just touted as the best handling front-wheel drive car ever.
That is a front-wheel drive BRZ.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that is.
I want one so bad. I still, to this day, want one. But I think the record sale price on an Integra Type R is like $90,000.
Excuse me?
That's what I said.
Someone bought a Type R for 90 grand?
You could have bought it 10 years ago for 15 to 20.
What? Why?
Maybe 25, right? Even if you bought it at 25 or 30, you overpaid at 30 10 years ago.
Whoa.
You're still making a lot of money nowadays.
What the heck?
I love that car so much. Ah.
All right, would you take that over the S2000?
Over the S2000?
Ooh.
Whoa, that's difficult. Geesh, I don't know how to answer this question. So I'm going to answer yes with a caveat. Because when I was a child, I really, I mean, honestly, when I was in middle school, I loved the Integra. The Integra was always, I actually had a toy Integra, like a Hot Wheels Integra Type R that I would play with like every day.
Dang, okay.
So I think because it goes back to my childhood, I would go with the Integra Type R. But if I'm looking at it just from pure fun, probably the S2000.
I would take the S2000. I would have to just rear-wheel drive.
I get that.
That seals the deal for me.
I'm with you there. But because of my childhood affliction with the Integra, that carries some weight for me.
This though, the Type R, would be awesome. It would be a close second.
Very close.
Very close second.
Yeah. So those are our, if you could go back 10 years, what would you get?
I like
S2000s, Mazda Speed 3, for some random reason a Tesla Roadster, some Porsches, an R32, and an Integra Type R.
Okay. That's cool. No, that was a good little segment. I like that.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
All right, so I've been out and about a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some things. Now, this is not my spot of the weeks, but I've got some contrast to the good spots of the weeks.
Contrast?
Yes.
How
about some worst spots of the week?
You mean bad spots of the week?
Yeah. Let's do a little bad spotting, shall we?
Okay.
Have you been out and about? Have you seen anything at all? Anything bad, I should say?
Anything bad? I wasn't particularly looking for bad.
But do you ever get near a car and go, wow, that's bad?
I mean, every Nissan Altima is bad.
I was actually in a silver Nissan Altima sandwich today. And you know what's funny? Is the one in front of me had taillight out. Is that not the most like actual Nissan Altima stereotype thing?
Every new BMW is bad.
Most new BMWs.
No,
the M8 isn't bad.
The big snout, I mean.
M8's not bad. It doesn't have a big snout.
But I can't really think of anything that like stuck out to be bad. I wasn't looking for bad, but this week I will specifically look out.
This coming week, look for bad.
Okay. What did you find?
Because
you must have had something good.
A lot of really bad stuff.
You must have had some good bad stuff.
Very good bad stuff, yeah. So one thing that I saw was, and this is weird, I saw a matte black Fiat 124 Spider.
What?
That is not a car you make matte black.
What?
That's not a car you make matte black at all.
A Fiat 124 Spider. That's the little car, right?
That's like the Miata version of the Fiat.
Yeah.
And it looked horrible in matte black. Not only was it matte black, it looked like a cheap matte black paint job. Like rattle canned matte black. Like, hey, yo, I want a black car. Let me run to Home Depot right quick. And I'm going to go get me some matte black paint. And I'm going to matte black my car.
That's really odd. I've never seen or heard of anyone doing that with that car.
It looked so bad. And I was stopped at a light and I just looked over and I was like, that is so bad. Why is that so bad? Holy cow.
So they took that little Miata looking Fiat, which, have you ever driven one of these?
No, I want to.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
Looks like fun.
I'd be curious to know if they are actually fun.
It looks like fun if it was in shiny paint.
Yeah. I mean, the paint wouldn't hurt the numbers. Do you know the horsepower numbers off the top of your head?
No, I don't.
All
it's
right.
Probably 200-ish.
Let me take a look at that one. Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I just...
There are other cars, though, that you can put matte on that do work, but I don't think that that's one of them.
There are other cars that you could put matte black on.
So
a Mercedes G-Wagon. It works. Matte black works really nicely on that car.
Mm-hmm. So a 2020 Fiat 124 Spider is MSRP for around $26,000.
Okay.
Horsepower is lower than I thought. It's 160.
Whoa, that is so slow.
From a 1.4 liter four-cylinder. A tiny little engine. And the curb weight of 2,400 pounds. So it's light.
That is a Spider that could be squashed, I think.
It's lighter than the Integra, but it's not more powerful. I didn't know that they were that
not powerful.
Low on power. That's really low on power.
That's James May level power.
I don't know that would be very fun to drive. I don't know.
Now that I'm thinking, that's probably very bland.
Like even an MX-5 has more power than that, right?
I think an MX-5 is what, $180 in horsepower?
A 2021 MX-5 is $180, yeah.
Oh, did I call it?
You're spot on.
Nice.
181.
Oh, wow. That was
and
pretty good.
2,300 pounds. So it's 100 pounds lighter with 20 more horsepower.
So if you're so that answers the question. If you're ever looking at a 124 Spider or an MX-5, you are an idiot if you buy a 124 Spider, because I'm sure it also probably costs more because it's Italian.
Or you're Italian.
Yeah. There's that. There's that. But that was one of my bad spots, was a matte black 124 Spider.
That's bad.
That's a car that does not wear matte black well.
No, it wears the white and the black the way they've done it, but it doesn't wear that.
That's a stock livery, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But the next bad spot that I had was a Pontiac Aztek. Is that not the bad spot of all bad spots?
It's a Pontiac Aztek.
I thought they were extinct. I thought they were all dead and in junkyards by now.
They're rare.
Oh my God.
But you can find them.
And not only was it a Pontiac Aztek, I'm going to take it a level further. It was a beige Pontiac Aztek.
Oh, the worst of the worst.
It is literally as bad as you can get.
Yeah,
A beige Pontiac Aztek. If you own a beige Pontiac Aztek, you are the world's most uninteresting human being that has ever existed.
How did they manage to make a car so ugly?
I don't know.
I don't know
Because
either.
the designer obviously didn't have eyeballs, I think. There was no eyes in the designer, is my thought process there.
I can't even find
so
a photo
bad.
of this car that's more than like 200 pixels, and you know what? That's how it should be.
Because it's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's awful. So then I got two more bad spots.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of bad stuff. The next bad thing that I saw was another matte car. Matte black. And this is even more unexpected matte black than the Fiat 124 Spider.
What was that?
A Chrysler Sebring.
What?
Can you believe
What?
someone made a Chrysler Sebring matte black? And it wasn't the newest Chrysler Sebring. It was like the old Chrysler Sebring. Oh my God.
That should only be silver. Just silver.
Or powder blue.
Maybe.
Like the old lady blue.
Yeah, okay. Matte black? And was it like done well, or was it like
No.
plasti dipped?
So bad. This is literally like a high school kid was like, yo, you want to make my mom's car matte black this weekend?
Yeah.
And his buddy, after he takes a hit of the devil's lettuce, goes, yeah, let's do it.
And they did.
And I saw a matte black Chrysler Sebring.
That's
and
terrible.
I actually wanted to claw my eyes out.
I don't blame you for that one. That is terrible.
Now, I also, for my maybe the most worst spot of the week, I did actually upload it to the drive, by the way, is something that's a little odd. It's Kia.
A Kia?
A Kia Stinger. Now, I know some people like the Kia Stinger. The Kia Stinger could be decent. But the Kia Stinger is a car that could be decent if it is maybe in like black or like silver. but the one I saw was not.
Okay.
It was like someone paid a cheap paint shop to make it purple and neon green.
Purple and neon green. The combination of both.
It's not good. It's
Okay.
really, really not good. So picture, who is it? The Hulk?
Yeah.
Or what superhero is purple and green? Green and purple.
The Hulk and...
I don't know.
Is there any more? I don't really think there is.
But I think someone like genuinely thought, yes, I want my car to look like the Hulk.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make it purple and green.
It's
And, well, they did that to their Stinger.
yeah. We'll post that one up on the
Yeah, I'll share it on the gram.
yeah. It'll be a controversial share on the gram.
It's not good.
Okay.
That's my worst spot of the week, is a purple and green Kia Stinger.
That's terrible. And did that happen to be right where we have our car show? Kind of looks like it.
As a matter of fact, yes, it was in the exact parking lot of Cars and Coffee.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
If I see that, I will hunt the owner down and shame them.
And have them on the podcast.
Oh, yes, and ask them, what on earth possessed you to do this to your Kia?
I don't know.
Yes, now I also have a question I need to pose you.
Okay.
Before I pose you the question, I have an observation. How has the weather been here in sunny Sarasota, Florida?
It has been chilly for Florida. It's been brisk.
Well, in the mornings, yes, but for the most part during the day.
I mean, it's
Has it been
60s, 70s. Like,
about as perfect as you can possibly imagine?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have a convertible, what do you do when it's 68 degrees or 73 degrees?
You put the top down and enjoy the weather?
What is wrong with you convertible owners that have your tops up right now?
Isn't that the point of being in Florida?
What is wrong with you convertible owners?
Are there a bunch out there?
Oh my God. So I've been driving around and I've noticed a car that I love very much, which is a Porsche 718 Boxster Spider. So not just a regular Boxster, but a Boxster Spider. Mm-hmm. It came in GT4 without a top. This is the car that James May loves and has the fizz, right? Okay. So it's the top that doesn't actually, it's not electric. It's a tarp. You have to unbutton it, right? I saw two of them, and they're rare. They are a quite rare car here. Both of them had their tops buttoned. You imbecile. You have the most pure driving Porsche that I think probably is in existence right now, with the weather that is absolutely perfect for having a top down. Mm-hmm. And you have your tarp up. What an idiot.
This time of the year in Florida is just put it down.
I just have to make that observation. Is if it is mid-60s to mid-70s and you have a convertible and you have not put your top down, you are an idiot.
If you're in Florida.
Anywhere. If it's mid-60s to 70s,
yeah.
Oh yeah, you better put your top down.
Yes.
You should be banished from having a convertible. You should be not allowed to have a convertible ever if you don't put your top down when it's between 65 and 75 degrees.
I don't disagree with that. Yeah. That should be common knowledge to anyone with a convertible.
I think that should be, right?
That's the whole point of owning a convertible.
And actually, that matte black Fiat 124 Spider I saw, it was a convertible, had its top up. It was a beautiful day. Stupid, just observation of stupid idiots.
All right. Well, we should move on to the actual car spots of the week.
Okay, let's move on.
Because I'm sure that you have seen many things, but let me give you what I've seen so far.
Okay.
So I haven't seen too much because I actually haven't been out and about that much.
Okay.
Big project at work that I'm working on. But there was actually a very well-spec'd, which you cannot go wrong with this. It was one of the newer Huracans. Okay. Lamborghini Huracan. It was yellow, like the normal yellow you would see on a Lamborghini, and had black rims and yellow brake calipers that match the yellow paint. Solid spec.
That is such a good spec on that car.
You cannot go wrong with that. Black tint on the windows.
Oh, that's such a good spec on that car.
Yep, the black and yellow just contrast perfectly. Yep.
I think so, yeah.
Other than that, I literally saw nothing interesting. Nothing.
Did you leave your house but once?
3 times.
Oh, man.
And all I saw were Nissan Altimas, BMW SUVs, and the usual, Yeah.
Fair enough.
So did you see anything that's more interesting than that?
I did.
Okay.
So I saw some Porsches that caught my eye. So first thing I saw, which is maybe the perfect daily sports car, was a Porsche 911 991.2 GT3 Touring. So my spots are all GT cars, essentially, right? Porsche GT cars. So GT3 Touring in black with silver wheels, the perfect daily driving sports car, in my opinion. Only came in a manual, sounded great, looked great, classy, understated, but beautiful, right? If you know, you know. That's one of my spots. Next thing I saw was the winged version of the GT3 Touring. So the GT3 Touring has no wing. It is just a clean, beautiful 911 shape. Then I saw that same generation, 911 991.2 GT3 standard with the wing.
Was it an option to have the wing?
You could either wing or touring.
Okay.
Either way. And it was a manual as well.
Fantastic.
And it was black with silver wheels too. So I saw both I saw pretty much the exact same car, touring and non-touring spec. The non-touring, so the winged version, had a very highly modified exhaust. Because as it drove by, it was revving to $9,000 and it sounded properly great.
Yes.
A very loud, raspy, beautiful sound. But it made me think, if I was getting that car, would I get the winged or the touring? I'm a sucker for the touring.
Okay.
I like a wing, but I'm a sucker for the touring.
Give me a wing.
Yeah, you can take the wing. That's fine. Next thing I saw was something that I saw going the opposite way of me on the highway. And it was maybe like just a person that has a fantastic life, I think.
Okay.
Because it was a Dodge Cummins 2500. So
I was going to guess a Winnebago.
No EV Winnebago. But it was this person with a big diesel Cummins towing a 911 Cup car with spare tires.
A newer, what model was the
991.2 Cup car. So that is 2018, 19.
Oh, that's still
20.
Proper race car.
Oh, it's a real race car.
Yeah.
It's actually the same kind of race car, essentially, that one of our guests drive.
Grant?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was just driving down the highway, and it was an open trailer. It wasn't a closed trailer. So I saw, I was like, damn, dude.
That's
this is
move,
just like,
but okay.
This is just like some like track day hero that's like,
Absolutely.
I wanted a Cup car, so I'm buying a Cup car. And he was towing it with a Cummins diesel.
How much is a Cup car? One of those. 200?
To buy, probably less than that.
150?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess they're a little older now, but
yeah.
Okay.
But
and I'm sure
the spare tires were great. I was like, yeah. Nice, let's go.
And I'm sure
you're gonna have a great
that
weekend.
20 grand.
Oh, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. But my spot of the week is something that I didn't even spot.
Okay.
It is
what?
something that a buddy of mine sent to me. So
Oh.
a buddy of mine, Will, he actually runs the Sarasota Caffeine and Gasoline. He sent me a picture. And it is my actual life goals. Like my actual two-car solution life goals. Do you remember a number of episodes ago we went over our perfect two-car solution?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You probably don't remember what mine was. But mine was a pickup truck and a Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Dodge Ram TRX. Remember that? Just because it's ridiculous, right?
Yep.
It's a super truck.
An 8-liter, 9 miles to the gallon.
A 6.2 liter supercharged V8 that does 9 miles to the gallon and 0 to 60 in like sub 4 seconds.
All right.
Yes. A TRX towing a Porsche 997 GT3.
A 997 GT3.
Yes. So
Okay.
not the newest from 2000. This was a 997.2, so more specifically 2009 to 2012.
Okay.
But it was towing my actual ideal two-car solution. Like, literally, in my brain, boop, came to life.
The GT3 would be the one without all the badging on the side.
This one did have a livery, but
Oh, okay.
yes.
Okay. So it's not the RS, though.
Correct, not an RS.
Okay.
But, it's my ideal two-car solution in real life. But it sent it to me. It was white with red accents, so it had red wheels, yellow Porsche carbon ceramic brakes, yellow or red livery. But
what was the TRX?
God. White, I believe, yeah.
Okay.
Like, how is that not the ultimate life? Is, yes, I'm going to tow my GT3 with the TRX.
Hey, that's your dream, yeah.
Oh, my God. My spot of the week goes to the picture that my buddy sent to me of my ideal two-car solution, life goals, GT3, 997 GT3, being towed by a TRX. Let's go.
I can't go wrong with that.
That is the best thing in the world to me.
Cannot go wrong with that at all.
Someone literally went into my brain and was like, yes, I'm going to take this out of his brain and I'm going to make it happen.
But would you rather have the Cup car on the back or
No,
the GT3?
because you can't drive a Cup car on the street.
Yeah, but I think that's the point. Like
No, because I still want to drive the GT3 on like spirited roads.
Oh, okay. You can't badge a Cup car?
No.
Dang.
No. It is a actual factory race car.
Okay.
You cannot put a license plate on a Cup car.
That's a shame. Somebody should figure out how to do that.
Well, people have done Cup car conversions on GT3s.
But it probably wouldn't be very comfortable to drive anyway.
Oh, no. It'd be horrible.
Yeah.
But
as I think about this, it's not a good idea.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
But yes, the spot of the week is a TRX towing a 997 GT3.
All right. I like it. I like it a lot.
It's really cool. So
Cool.
we should move on to the I wish they would have, shouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
Okay, so you're driving down the interstate and you're driving next to a semi, and then everything goes like kablambity boom bop bang, and then tire parts are flying everywhere.
Yes.
Have you ever had that happen?
Yes, but I've been lucky to avoid it. Plus, I also maintain a safe following distance. So
Yeah, not particularly fun when it gets close and happens. Yes. But you often see on the side of the road like tire debris, right? Chunks of the tire.
Shreds of tire.
Shreds of it with little wires sticking out of it. And, not ideal for people to run over with their car.
Agreed.
Not good. So I wish that tire manufacturers could make like the tire either turn into like a billion pieces when it treads. So you don't have the giant chunks of
So
rubber.
just like dust.
Yeah, just turn into a ton. Like an F1 car when it hits a wall. Just turn into a billion pieces.
Just shards. Yeah, okay, fair. Fair.
Yes. Or they could make them like biodegradable or something like that where they wouldn't be big pieces anymore. Maybe you could make it so that there's like a wire that's in there, and once it's severed, it like makes everything turn into really small chunks as it breaks up. Or you could, I don't know exactly how to do it, but I wish that they could sort out a way to make it so it's not big chunks.
I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. That makes some sense because, yeah, you definitely, a big hunk of tire could do some damage.
It can. And when they go and you're next to it, I've heard stories of like bad things happening to cars.
Yeah, they go big and they go bad quickly.
Yeah.
Right? That is a solid I wish they would have, is making, I guess, tires when they go into a million pieces and just do no harm to cars.
Yeah, like figure out a way to make it so they don't do harm to cars. And I don't know how easy it is to do. And maybe the airless tires that are coming up will sort that out for us.
Or will they be so much more stiff and rigid
I don't know.
that if something were to happen, it literally just tears an entire car to pieces?
I don't know. We'll see.
I suppose we'll find out.
But yeah, I wish that they could make them a little more safe when they inevitably die on an 18-wheeler.
Yes, agreed.
So what do you have?
So my wish they would have is that I wish, as part of, I guess, maybe not part of the driver's licensing or something, but I wish everyone either had to or could experience a skid pad.
Ooh, yes. Okay, I have many things to say about this.
So what are you going to say?
Okay, I wish that everyone was put through... Yeah, I see what you're saying here. And I wish that everyone was put through a series of events where they were forced to lose control of their car and
Yes.
regather it.
Yes. Sort it out.
Yeah, but I think in a couple different situations. First, going from pavement to grass and then back to pavement.
Yeah.
Because there's a big difference there.
Slippery, not so slippery.
It's slippery, not so slippery. Your wheel speeds differ. You have to figure out how it's going to grip back onto the pavement or grip onto the grass, how to get off all the get off the gas and the brake, and like steer very lightly when you're on the grass, if you're ever on grass. But most people, when they're put into that situation and they've never either been in a racing sim or ever been in that spot, they're sawing at the wheel and bad things happen.
Yep.
And I think a skid pad would be good, but I think like one step above a skid pad where you have a series of things that you have to go through. A gravel road where you're hauling butt and sliding around, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, that's my wish it would have. Is I wish they would just make everyone experience some sort of a loose surface skid pad, something as maybe a prerequisite to get your license, something, or continuing ed, something. I don't know. Everyone just, my wish, I just wish everyone would experience like a skid pad or something.
Yeah. Experience their car out of control
Yeah.
and how to sort it out. And I think that you could actually train that on simulators very, very well. I don't think the general public would like it, but I can tell you, like, iRacing will teach you that. It will teach you that.
Yeah, definitely.
Crazy enough, like Forza Motorsports, if you have a wheel, it will teach you that.
Drop a wheel and see what
sims.
happens.
Yeah.
Right? Go wide open throttle out of a corner, drop a wheel and see what happens. And you'll be humbled real quick.
You will. But you'll also learn how to sort it out decently well. So when you're in a real situation, you'll have some reaction, some awareness of how to sort it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's good. That's a good one.
Yeah. So you got anything else for episode 47?
I do not.
All right. So then that's going to wrap us up for episode 47. Thank you all so much again for watching and listening. If you're on YouTube, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave us a thumbs up and a comment. If you're on audio only, so Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, any of them, please make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and drop a comment or a review on any of those platforms of choice. Also going to ask you to follow us on social. Facebook is We Are Auto, Instagram is We Are Auto _. YouTube is We Are Auto, and TikTok is We Are Auto as well. Been slacking on the TikToks. And if you could, make sure you send us your I wish they would have and any other auto-related news and info that you'd love to have us chat about. So again, that's going to wrap us up for episode 47, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.